welcome back. I hope that you actually enjoyed the session and you actually got something that you're taking home with you and ensuring that you will not come back and say, next year, same time, I am still where I was last year. So 2023 things have to change. I want to make sure that this forum gets you asking yourself questions you need to ask yourself, questions you've been avoiding to ask yourself, because that is the thing that actually gets us keeps us where we are, because we are avoiding to ask ourselves those questions. So this moment, I'm excited. We're going to now change the industry and go to another industry and learn something that maybe will even add to the list of questions. And I hope you have a pen and I hope that you are taking notes, because learning is every single day until you die. This is not only to learn. Take notes, go apply, start doing it, because then you realize that by being able to take action, you have moved. Just listening won't help you, because if you listen, you're inspired, and then tomorrow you get back to where you were. Have you changed anything? I don't think so. You're still where you were yesterday. But if you listen, get inspired and take action, tomorrow you're in another place. And she gave us how many points? She gave us 4 points. She gave us even mistakes that we should avoid. And we should be able to say to ourselves, you know what? I need to be able to move my life, and no one else is going to move my life. So our next speaker is a medical doctor. Really? A medical doctor? Do we need a doctor to get inspired? But guess what? I said, in this planet, we are 7 billion, and each one of us is playing a role that is allowing somebody to be transformed in one way or in another way. Our next speaker is Dr. Claire Kinuthia. And I can tell you, networking is really nice, because I have not met her in person. I have met her online. That is why it is good to attend forums. That is why it is good to learn about networking, because then we can network with anybody, anywhere in this planet, and we can be able to get what we want. Dr. Claire, I think she has something that really inspires me. I'm just wondering, will you be inspired the way I was inspired as I was reading what she has been able to do as a medical doctor? And I want you to think of any doctor, maybe the one who treats you, or maybe the one who looks after you. Do doctors actually talk about what they do, or you just get sick and you say, my body's aching, I need to go to the doctor. You go to the doctor. Okay, that is what normally happens. And Dr. Claire, she is a medical doctor. For us as women, and for me, we call her the gynecologist. And doctor, you'll help us with this tongue twister word of you are not only a gynecologist. This other word is a tongue twister for us layman. You'll help us with that, because maybe we don't need those details, but you know very well they make a whole difference in the way you treat us. What really is inspiring is that Dr. Claire was able to start blogging in 2015, get an award for blogging about medical services. Which doctor is busy blogging? Doctor is supposed to be treating people in the hospitals, taking care of us, not busy blogging or talking even about what she is doing. Dr. Claire, welcome. Maybe we need to understand a little bit of the way you think to get out of the conventional ways of being a doctor and waiting for us to come to you. You started coming to us. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Winnie. That was such a generous introduction. But I'm feeling shy. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I've literally run out of labor words, so that's why I look like battlefield gear. but I had to make time for this today.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm sure so far the session has been amazing.
We're losing your sound, is it? Or is it me?
Ooh.
Can
Any
anyone?
better?
Oh, okay. I thought we are losing you. Let me
Okay.
pick you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead.
So I was just saying thank you very much for having me on here.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be invited to forums like this where we get to network. I think your network is your net worth. That's the key golden message to take home from sessions like this. So I'm very glad to be here and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have for me.
Yeah. Doctor, tell me, what is one of the things that made you desire to be a medical doctor? Is there something that pushed you towards that? Weren't you scared as a young girl, like, how do I become a doctor like a girl? That's not supposed to be girlish area.
Career.
Weren't you afraid?
So mine, I have a very lucky story in terms of I was born into a medical family pretty much because my father is a doctor as well and my mom is a pharmacist. And I'm the firstborn and only daughter of the family. So just having them in my life was already inspirational because they sort of found a way to make it seem easy. They made medicine seem very easy to do. It felt like something that wasn't, out there in the realms of impossibility. And more importantly, they sort of were very good at raising me and my brothers as equals. They never made me feel like as a woman, you're lesser than, or this is a career choice that isn't for you. So I never felt like it was like I was inadequate or like I was going outside of the normal by going into medicine. When I first joined, of course, it was challenging because previously men had been more dominant in the industry. It was, and especially so like now in my field of obstetrics, that word, obstetrics and gynecology. Yeah, we find that it had previously been a male-dominated field, and just finding the gap. I looked at the area and I felt, why would I be more comfortable going to a man to look after my reproductive and sexual health needs when I can see a woman? But at the time, there were maybe 4 or 5 female gynecologists. And of course, their queues were till, the end of the road. So it became impossible and it sort of inspired me. And I felt like, why not try to be an additional gynecologist? Yes, but still focus myself more in providing care for more sensitive people, for people who want more attention, you want more detail about your healthcare. I'm very keen on, sorry about that. I'm very keen on making sure my patients have access to information as well as working as a team with me. So it's not, I never lead. I want you to work with me so that we get you back to health or we are able to get your condition under control.
That is so interesting and so inspiring, and I want us to listen with that here. If you're a parent, are you listening? Like, do you always keep in mind that your children are watching you, that you are a biggest influence to your children's life? What and how you do what you do might inspire them to be who they are meant to be? How does that help to ensure that your children don't feel like there's a difference between this career and that career? Because as parents, sometimes you make those mistakes because we are aligned like, you are a woman, you need to do this. You are a man, you need to do this. The world is open. You can go into any role. And I think that alone should remind us to remember that self-leadership in terms of ensuring we're leading ourselves so that even our children learn early how to lead themselves, and so that they are not afraid when they get into areas where they feel it's not supposed to be like a woman's area or a man's area. I'm also happy about something that you've just said, that you wanted to be part of the solution. Sometimes we run away from this that particular question, like if you see there's a problem here and you need to solve it, and you say, no, it's not my job, it's so and so. Like, who do you expect to solve that problem? Why not you? And that is one of the key areas, and key maybe thing about leadership. You want to be part of the solution. I will be the solution.
Yes. And I think that is so important. It's vital that we start to take leadership of our own lives as well as of the lives of the people in our communities.
Yeah. And I want to also touch on something that you say. You say you have actually this blog that is, they call me Daktari. For those not listening from Kenya, they call me Doctor. That's the blog she has, and she's known that in the social media. And for me, I'm curious. You are a doctor. You're not supposed to be actually in the social media saying something like that. How did this happen? 1, 2, how did your family take it? 3, maybe, how did the other doctors take it? Like, did people accept it? You get people getting yourself out of the conventional way of thinking. How do you get yourself there?
So how did it happen? I started the blog in 2015, and it was because I was in a low point myself, because medicine is hard and it's very isolating when you're working as a doctor, because people come to you only when they are in trouble, only when they feel they need help or they need assistance with their health.
Just hold on, that is very interesting. At the lowest point in your life, it was a defining moment for you. Is everyone hearing what I'm hearing? Are you taking note of that? At the lowest point of her life, it was a defining moment. Have you had such moments in your life? Maybe take note of that. Yes, go on.
Yes, so instead of staying in that darkness, instead of feeling low and asking myself, why is this my purpose? Is this my only purpose? Is talking to people one-on-one and listening to the same things on repeat. It's like there's no information being shared out there, because I'm looking after women, especially with women's health, where we have been conditioned to hide and be shy about our personal issues. And talking about your private health, your private parts or your reproductive health or your sexual health is so taboo. And I started to feel very drained because I'd keep having the same repeat conversations, but one person at a time. So I challenged myself and I said, let me think outside the box and start a blog and start talking to people, try and get a larger audience and get medical information out there through that audience. So that's where the blog started. It was also a way to share a bit of my life and the challenges that we face when you're a medical doctor or when you're working in the medical or the health industry. Some of the challenges we face when we're looking after patients, when we are working in different facilities, when you're working for government facilities, and the struggles that come with that. So I was able to highlight those issues. In the span of a year, the blog became a huge hit. We actually received a reward for it in 2016. And it was such a wonderful, reassuring sort of feedback that what I'm doing is key work and it's important work. So I was able to have continued conversations. Blogging is sort of insular in that you're writing and you don't know how many people will read. You're writing and you don't have immediate feedback. So you sort of work off of faith and you hope that someone somewhere, as long as 2 people, maybe 3 people are reading, then at least I'm making some sort of impact. But then I found over time that the blog was actually becoming more and more popular, and started to think outside of the box again and take myself onto social media. So like you said, doctors are not supposed to be on social media. We're not supposed to be on the limelight. We're not supposed to talk about our personal issues. We have always been treated like we are demigods, like there's a God complex. The doctor is up here and the normal person is down here. And I really disagree with that, because I believe your healthcare is teamwork. So we are working on the same team. Sure, I have more information than you, but at the end of the day, if you don't take what I'm teaching you and use it to improve your health, then we're not going to get anywhere. So when it came to family, they were very supportive, because again, I was raised in an amazing family where we were taught to be vocal, we were taught to be confident in ourselves. And if you have an opinion, you were supposed to voice it. It doesn't matter that it's different from someone else. if it is different, let's have a conversation and let's have a discussion, because that's how we grow as people, rather than refusing to challenge your own beliefs. You might learn something by sharing your opinion. So my family had been very supportive from the beginning. And then when it came to other doctors, it's been a interesting balance, because like I said, doctors tend to be very reserved. We are revered and we are put on a pedestal, and you're kept like separate from society. You're not even supposed to seem like a human being. You're not supposed to have problems like normal people. You're not supposed to have any challenges, because you guys come to us to fix problems. I don't want to know that my doctor has problems. So I had a mixed response, where some doctors were happy with what I was doing and the fact that we were sharing health information and sort of also mentoring junior doctors as well, and other medics who are in training as they're trying to get ahead in their careers. And then I also got a bit of negative backlash, because then I'm oversharing and I'm giving too much information for free, which is a very negative way to look at things. So again, I keep changing. My mission, I feel, in life is to challenge the narrative, challenge the norms, and make it so that I want people to understand that doctors are accessible. Doctors are human. We are people who will also make mistakes in our own lives. We'll also have challenges in our own lives, and we should be able to talk about them. We have challenges when we're looking after you as doctors, because it is an emotional and mentally draining situation, especially so when somebody's health is not improving or when we lose a patient. It's quite draining. It can be psychologically traumatic, but we don't actually get to talk about it. We don't really, generally speaking, in most facilities, there's no support system or even counseling options for doctors if you go through a loss like that. And yet we are part of the people who will be affected. So it's important to talk about these issues. And I continue to vocally express myself and share snippets of my life. Now that I'm on social media, it's actually grown quite large. On Instagram, I believe I have 25,000 followers, which is amazing. I'm also on TikTok, on Facebook as well. They call me Daktari is the handle. And I'm able to interact with people directly. I'm able to answer. I have question and answer sessions. I post informative videos just educating you on different aspects of your sexual and reproductive health. And so far, the feedback has been amazing, because for the first time, people keep telling me it feels like my health is accessible. I feel I understand my body a bit better. I'm able to talk to my child better about their own bodies, about their own health and reproduction. I'm able to talk about sex to my teenagers, because we should be talking to them about it. All the things we call taboo, and we decide as parents we're not going to talk about them, then you leave it open for somebody who has no knowledge, no information to access your child. And in that situation, it's more likely to be damaging than it is to be helpful. So I find there's been a lot of benefit when I share that information, and I empower my patients who are also parents, as well as those who are the children, and help them understand their bodies better, understand their health better, and stop looking at it as such a taboo topic. If you have an issue, come and talk about it. Let's fix the problem and stop shying away. So it has been a wonderful period of growth, lots of new following, lots of new questions, because I'm very engaging on social media as well. And then I also be able to see a lot of people who want to see me as a patient. They have access to me through those different social media platforms. And then we're able to have a consultation in person. And nowadays we actually also do virtual consultations.
Wow. Wow. That's so interesting. And I want to ask a different question, and maybe that can also answer some questions in people's minds, like you decide this is something new. At your lowest moment, you find that this actually is an opportunity for you to reach out to those people that need your services. Were you uncomfortable about it, or what gave you the courage to go on?
Initially, it was very uncomfortable for me, just because even personality-wise, I'm a very private person. I'm a very reserved person. And then as a doctor, like I said, we have like standards you're supposed to maintain, and you're never supposed to be accessible or approachable, which I think is very unfortunate. So it was scary to begin with, to be honest. And especially so when it was blogging, because there was no direct, immediate feedback or interaction. People would read and either comment or just not give any feedback at all. So it's a bit better now on social media because you can write to me, you can leave a comment, I can always be able to get feedback. But I believe even, especially when you feel something feels intimidating, or when you feel like it's completely outside of your comfort zone, that's the thing you need to do, because that's how we grow. If you don't challenge yourself, if you live in a bubble and you're comfortable, you're not growing and you're not going to evolve in any way, and you're more likely than not going to be left behind. So it's key, it's so important to just keep putting yourself in that uncomfortable situation. When you feel like your career is stalling, look for the next thing and try and improve your skills, improve your knowledge, and challenge yourself to do the next level of work. And that way you keep yourself evolving and you stay relevant. I think that's the most important thing.
Wow. 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 You need to challenge yourself. You need to grow yourself. Yes. And you need to ensure that you're not staying in the same bubble, in the same box. We said at the beginning, it's time for you to grow yourself. And you can't grow yourself if you're in the same place you are last year. You need to be in a different place. My second word from that discussion. Can you see? Write it down. This is the second secret word. This is the second secret word. Write it down. I didn't tell them what to say. They are saying. So you don't know what you do. So she says, even though she's shy, can you believe she has so much following on social media? She has gotten out of the reserved doctor space. Get out there. That's what we call leadership, because you lead in a path that is unknown. You are the one to build that road so that others can follow. She is showing you that it is possible to get out of your bubble, to get out, to do something, to change other people's lives. She's not just answering questions about personal issues, because that's what she was doing. She's actually transforming the way we look at ourselves and ask those questions about our health. And she's making us think and be part of that solution. And that is transformation. One thing I didn't say though, is that besides being a medical doctor, she is also a managing director, and she runs a cosmetic company. Again, doctor, now you like getting out of the way. What is all this about? Tell us something about this thing of you are in cosmetics. You're supposed to be in the ward, in the operating room. What are you doing in the cosmetics world?
The cosmetics side. So I'm all about holistic. I'm all about being a full person and exploring all your different talents on all the different facets in your life. We are so used to being put in a box. We're so used to being told, if you are a manager, this is your role. If you are a parent, this is your role. If you are, a police officer, this is your role. But who says you can't try different things? Why can't you challenge yourself? Especially so when you are talented and you have your gifts that you don't necessarily use fully in the job that you do or in the life that you're living. So for me, cosmetics was an easy access for me. It was an easy business to think about, because I am in health. We are all about health. And the health starts from the top of your head to the last toe, the bottom of your toenail. And when you think about cosmetics, it's about skincare, it's about hair care. And if you are taking care of yourself, both inside and out, you start to look amazing, and your skin will glow and your hair will look amazing, because you're looking after yourself inside and out. So as a doctor, I talk about internal health and how you're eating and the kind of exercise that you're doing and how you're looking after yourself in that way. And then when I go into cosmetics, I talk about your skin health and your hair health. So I got this idea for the cosmetics company because I was fortunate enough to travel to Morocco, and I found out about argan oil, which is an amazing natural oil. It's an organic product that comes from the argan tree, and they're able to extract the oil. It's usually done by collectives of women. So again, it's still empowering women, and they come together in their collectives to sell package and sell the oil. So I was able to come up with the idea because they don't really sell to East Africa. So I decided, because we benefit the most, dark skin, melanin skin, and our hair will benefit the most from argan oil. It has healing properties. It has benefits that go beyond just being skin deep. And I felt challenged. Let me challenge myself to bring this new product, import it into the country, and start to sell it and see the benefits. I have women who have had acne that does not resolve from anything else, and just simply using this oil has actually improved their skin tenfold in a very short period of time. People who are trying to grow their hair, people who are trying to grow, especially like us women who have a lot of pulling on the corners, the traction alopecia, where you have balding because of the braids and the wigs and the weaves that we wear, it works wonders for it. And again, being a doctor, I'm never going to bring in a product that's not safe. I never wanted anything that is full of chemicals. So I said, let's do this the natural way. Let's go organic. Let's use what the earth is giving to us and then make it available more readily in our market, and educate people a bit more about using more natural products for their skin and their hair, so that you're taking care of, again, focusing on internal health as well as external health. So for me, it was an easy balance.
Wow, that is so interesting, and it's actually natural. And you actually talked about taking care of your inside and taking care of your outside, and that is so lovely. Yes. That you are actually looking at the entire being, that you want to look glowing. No wonder I didn't say that when somebody saw when we featured the doctors, somebody made the comment that's young and beautiful. So I imagine in my head that they deserve that space for the doctors that's not supposed to be beautiful, or they're not supposed to be young.
We're not supposed to, yeah.
So it is so nice to have.
I don't know why we're supposed to be haggard. We refuse to be haggard.
I know. It's a good question to ask. Like, what are the features of those doctors that you expect to have? After all, you also want to go to a doctor and feel, if the doctor is looking great, we know that when we come out of there, we have been sorted out.
There we go. Exactly right. I wouldn't want to come and see my doctor and they look like they're struggling. I'm sorry.
You know?
We don't want that.
Yeah. We want to feel, really, I'm excited to go see the doctor. The doctor is even looking great. I need to look great like the doctor. And I need to feel confident that the doctor will be able to address my problem, because the doctor is taking good care of themselves. Nobody wants to go somewhere where they're not so sure. No, thank you so much. It's really, really interesting. Anything that I could have forgotten that you think that if you had said that information like years back when you were 20 years old, maybe that would have changed maybe your life, or maybe this is what you'd have said to yourself: listen, Dr. Claire, do this, do this, do this, do that. Somebody's listening to you. They're 20 years old, or they're beginning to think out of the box, like you've said, and I've been taking notes. Like, you need to get out of your box. If you are still thinking within your box, you need to get out of your shyness, which is something that you say you're shy. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, she's shy. She has all this following on social media. She's everywhere. And that's what we actually want to make sure. Because when people approach me, most of the times, because I deal with people in the corporate world, is that really, they're not promoting me. They don't seem to notice me. No one really knows I exist. And I'm just thinking, if nobody knows you exist, what is the problem? The problem is sitting with you. How can you get yourself to get visible for people to see you, so that they can recommend you for that possible promotion? And maybe that is the answer. So for you, you said, I am going to answer these questions. I'm going to help transform these people's lives, and I'm going to make sure I solve their problem. Within solving that problem, it's given you a lot of visibility, and has given a lot of people solutions when you are out there, getting out of the box. That is very important. And I want to thank you for sharing that, because a lot of people think that the people who are out there, they are all of them extroverts, maybe they are not shy and things like that.
No. A lot of us are very shy. When you meet me in person, you ask yourself, is this the same person I see on social media? Very reserved. But what I'd like to encourage the audience who are here today is, first of all, you've taken the first right step. when it comes to improving yourself. Taking courses like this or coming on to have conversations like this and networking with people who are different from you is the first step in the right direction. Because already you have decided to empower yourself. You've decided, I'm going to learn something from other people. And then I can find a way to use these and get ideas from these people to use and apply in my own life. The thing I would encourage a lot of us, which I struggled with when I was younger, like you said, what I would tell myself if I was a 20-year-old, again, so many years ago now, but yeah. What I would definitely tell myself is get out of your own head. We tend to be our own limitation. We are our biggest limitation.
Enemy.
The person who keeps you down is you. You're the one who doesn't believe in yourself. You're the one who looks at an opportunity and says, oh gosh, I don't think so. Women, especially, you will read a job application request and say, oh, I don't have this, so I'm not going to apply. Apply. Get out of your head and apply, because nobody is perfect. And the role can actually work even for you. You can fit into that role and transform it and give them more than they expected, but in a different way. Apply, put yourself out there, get out of here. That's the one thing I would actually tell people. Let's stop limiting ourselves and actually allow yourself, try it. And I usually will say, we are so afraid of failure that we refuse. It's like it paralyzes us. We refuse to try anything new because I know I'm going to fail, or I think because I don't know how to do it, it's more likely than not I'll fail. What I'll ask is, you fail, so what?
Exactly.
You learn,
right? You either get two things.
Learn.
One of my coaches say, you get two things. You're going to either succeed or fail. If you fail, you're going to get the lessons of what not to do.
Exactly. What's not to do. And then you apply those lessons and you succeed the next time you try. But if you never try, you never know. And already, if you never try or you never ask, the answer is already no. There's no other way. So let's stop being so afraid of failure. Get out of your own head, get out of your own way and try. Close your eyes and take the leap. After that, where you land, you'll actually figure it out. That's what I'd encourage everyone.
Yeah, my mentor says, take the leap. You'll either fly, that is, you'll take off, or if you fail, then you'll get the lessons. But definitely something will come out of it. So don't sit there and say that I'm going to miss this because I am so afraid, and I'm so grateful, doctor, because there's one thing you've said. Inside this box, we have already judged ourselves and concluded we are not suitable for that thing. Just ourselves. We have already judged and concluded. Like, we are the judges, we are still the, I don't know, the interviewers or whoever it is, and we have finished with that issue. We have not even attempted it. Thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to add to those tips? Maybe something that will challenge us to get out of our comfort zone, out of our heads, because most of the times we are inside our heads and we need to get out of our heads. That is so, so inspiring. So if you have been thinking and been wondering that why are things not happening your way, maybe you are inside your head and maybe you need to get out of your head. Let me see what they are saying. Somebody is really, really happy about this. Let me say, they're saying, thank you for sharing. Get out of your own self. That's true. You are the one letting yourself down. Exactly. You are letting yourself down, not anybody else. Really interesting. We are so afraid of failure until we don't try. So true. We are so afraid we are going to fail, we are going to fail until we don't do it. What you'd say when you're 20 years, you look 20 years old, doctor, they say you look that 20 years old. True, you actually look that. And I want to believe that what you are doing, taking good care of yourself, has kept you looking young again. Thank you so much for running away from the theater, coming and sharing and inspiring us to get out of our own heads, so that we can go do great things in the world like you've done. And we believe that with the example from what you have done, from an industry where people are kept to stay there, you have been able to demonstrate that it is possible for us to get out of our own way. Actually, we are right on our own way. There's no one else in our way. Ourselves, we are on our own way. If there's nothing else, if there's any other question, maybe if there's a question from anyone, please just do the question or type the question in the chat and she'll be able to answer. Okay. You can reach her on all the social media. They call me Daktari on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Our website is theycallmedaktari.com. I'm sure we've got a lot of inspiration from the doctor. And I want to believe that with what she has said, she has challenged us to think outside the box and know that we are our own enemies. Nobody else is an enemy to us. We need to get out of our own way. Any questions? Oh, they're saying thank you so much for the great inspiration. Doctor, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I can hear you.
Yeah. So they are saying thank you so much for the great inspiration.
Very welcome. Very welcome.
And thanks for sharing. Yeah, they are saying thank you, Daktari. Thank you so much, Daktari. Thank you for getting time to be with us. I've already shared where they can reach you at. They call me Daktari at on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also your website.
Yes.
But if anyone cannot reach that, then you can reach us out and we'll share the contacts again. Yeah, I can see somebody say, thank you, cute Daktari. Thank you so much. We'll allow you to get back to the theater and see that everything is fine. Thank you for again
I'm hoping to meet a little baby today.
And congrats to the mother, and thanks to the team that allowed you to come. Please send our regards to them and get well soon to them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you. So we are going to take a break, a short break of, is it 2 minutes or 3 minutes? And then we are going to be joined by the next speaker. So I hope that this has been inspiring and that you're getting a little bit uncomfortable about where you are right now, and you're getting yourself ready and pumped up to, like, I need to get out. I need to get out of this comfort zone and get to somewhere where I need to be. So get out of your own way and allow yourself to be who you are meant to be or to become.